How is it going, everyone? The Trout 91 here for a Call of Duty related video. Now, this is an interesting one because this isn't about any Call of Duties that are coming out at the moment or any sort of news like that. I suppose in some way it can link in that respect, but this is about something totally different. Now, you might have seen on the internet roaming in the past day or two about something called Call of Duty Roman Wars or Call of Duty Roman Warfare. Now, what is that? So basically, I say about 8 years ago, Call of Duty were trying to think of ways to revitalize their franchise, almost like they're doing right now. And there was a game that was suggested. It was Roman Wars. It was a, obviously, Roman era type Call of Duty game. It was within development, and the idea was suggested around to the Activision team, and it never actually came to fruition. It was actually later repitched to Ubisoft as Roman Wars, and it would feature battles with elephants trampling soldiers, a playable Julius Caesar, and first-person sword combat. Now, the idea was meant to go ahead until it reached the CEO, Bobby Kotick, before a mixture of things occurred where it faded out. I'll have the full article in which I've seen this been posted in infinite more detail. I'm just kind of giving you a very brief summary as to what's happened. You can find that on the gamesradar.com website. In 2008, again, a new COD installment was thrown into the mixture again. The pitch was once again around the Roman War theme, following a soldier in Julius Caesar's 10th Legion, which was basically the Spec Ops of its day, and was thrown into the mixer. And in the end, there was uncertainty about putting it under the Call of Duty branding. A similar story as to what happened previously, and it never made it past the prototype stage. Now, as silly as this kind of sounds when you're thinking about it, when I think of all the campaign stuff that Call of Duty have done in the past and how it's progressed as a game to now, and all the new technology, the graphics, and the storyline that they had, I would say I haven't played some of the newer Call of Duty campaigns, admittedly, but when I think back to some of the older ones, especially like, you know, your COD 4s, the drama you'd have in it, even World at War, Modern Warfare series was pretty incredible as well, the Black Ops stuff, all the mind games, and the atmosphere that was built in them. You could think of it being actually an incredibly good single-player campaign. I think the problem with Call of Duty when it comes to single player is that it's just literally you have a gun and you go around and you shoot people, you shoot the bad guys, and that's basically it. I mean, all their ideas as far as the gameplay is concerned in single player, I'd imagine is pretty much burnt out now. There's only so much you can actually do at this point. But you think about it, especially from a multiplayer perspective, it will certainly add a breath of fresh air into the actual multiplayer and all the kind of mechanics you could expect, sword fighting, well, elephants trampling on soldiers as well. You can think of archers and all the little attachments and things that you could implement there. Poison grenades, all the kind of levels that you would expect in a Roman setting to be coming out in this. And it did get me thinking, like, is that potentially the way that Call of Duty brings itself back? Because we all know Battlefield is going back to World War I, and I think that is an incredibly bold but a very smart move. I think that's exactly what people want. They want something a little bit different but familiar enough they can recognize with it. So many people have cried out to see some older Call of Duties go back to World Wars and give us something from the past, because we had enough of the modern and futuristic stuff. We want to go back, if anything, and just have a simpler time. Some of my favorite Call of Duties, just keep it simple. Call of Duty 2 is one of the best Call of Duties for a reason, because it is just that simple. It did get me thinking, though. Have they gone the wrong direction in the way that they're trying to update the entire thing and the theme? They've gone forward into the future. Maybe they should have gone backwards to an even further back period of time. The Roman era. Perhaps they need a Western theme. If any of you have played Call of Juarez, it's similar in some respects to Call of Duty and how it works. Very fun game if you've ever played it, and the multiplayer is very, very good. Revolutionary War. Maybe we need to go back to something like that. The Civil War. Could we go back to there? The Stone Ages were some suggestions I'd seen thrown into the comments, and I even thought myself, what about the Jurassic times? Like, you get a 10 kill streak, a big Tyrannosaurus Rex comes and just stomps on people and eats them alive. Who knows what kind of things come out. You just run around as cavemen, like batting each other with like clubs and throwing spears made out of bones and stones. Or even the Egyptian pharaoh times could be something. I mean, as far as Infinite Warfare goes, we could be pleasantly surprised and have a great time playing it, and it could be something we've not really expected and put it down so hard, and it could be a fun experience. Overall, I have to say for myself, I don't think that's going to be necessarily the case. I think it'll be new and exciting when we first get it, but I just fear for some of the mechanics. I mean, we've been let down by the lack of boots on the ground in previous Call of Duties. Could this be another year where that holds prevalent, and next year we could see something completely different, or will we go back to the good old formula that worked so many years? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. If you've got any wacky ideas for Call of Duty game themes or time zones, do let me know, and I'll see you later. Peace out.